everybody, welcome back to yet another video. I haven't done this in a minute, well, without you guys. So usually I would play these games where I solve the exercises or whatever, a problem solving, I used to do that a lot, but today I decided to do it, and I realized that I could actually, record it and put it out as content. So you know what I'm saying. Okay, so in this exercise, guys, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and whatever. Yeah, so I'm just bored, so I'm just here to pick my brain. Not that I don't pick it enough, but on a Sunday, what is there to do? Whatever. So in this exercise, you have to analyze records of temperature to find the closest to zero. So here is the sample. So buddy, -1 is the closest to zero. Yes. Okay, yeah. It is the closest to zero. I almost said something, but then I saw that this is a Cartesian plane and the positive is up and down is negative, because I was going to be like, why is the... Anywho, yeah. So that's what we're doing. So it says, write a program that prints the temperature closest to zero among input data. If two numbers are equally close to zero, positive integer has to be considered closest to zero. For instance, if the temperatures are -5 and 5, then display 5. Your program must read the data from the standard input and write the result on the standard output. Line 1, which is... It's not line 1. I don't know where they sing line 1. This is line 1. I think they're referring to this. So n, the number of temperature to analyze, a string with the n temperatures expressed as integers ranging from whatever. Okay, I'm talking my own thing. Okay, I don't know what they're talking about, but anyway, display 0 if no temperatures are provided. Otherwise display the temperature closest to 0. So for n is less than or equal to 0, and n is less than 10,000. So if you have this as an input, the number that is closest to 0 is 1. So now we're going to come straight here. So we have our two strict conditions. So condition number 1. Okay, so first what I would do is create a variable to store the temperature that we need to output, right? So closest temperature, right? Give that a 0. All right. Yeah, so we're gonna initialize that to 0. Okay, I'm not that much, I don't think my vocab, is it vocab? My diction is very technical, so I don't know, I'm explaining myself. Anyway, here it is. So I'll just say, okay, so we're given a list, right? A list of... I always think in lists. I'm not a big fan of arrays, but I guess they're good for whatever, yeah. But I like using lists. So for the sake of this thing, I'll just say, so we have a list of temperatures. So it could be a negative temperature, positive, whatever. So we want the one that is closest to 0. So if there's -1 and 2, -1 would be closest to 0, from here, right? Yeah, basically that's what it is. This is 0. So from here, they even demonstrated that in a bar graph. Whatever notation. So this one is closest to 0. Makes sense. 13 is furthest. It's up there, and 0 is here. Okay. Wow, they're very good in explaining, because I think this graph itself explains it, right? So we're looking for a number, negative or positive, that is closest to 0, right? So we know that we need to have this temperature. So this temperature is what we need to output here, right? Okay, basically this is how I'm doing it at this point. Yeah, maybe I would have done it differently tomorrow or yesterday or whatever, but at this point, this is where my train of thought is, right? So we have the closest temperature, which is 0. So we already know that if, right, so we have this as well. It says that if there's no temperature provided, right, so already we get the main this is where the, what's this thing called, this is the what am I doing? This is the main this is where the main input is. So this one is just to merely convert the string integer, the string input to have it as an integer, right? Because the temperatures are inserted as strings, or they, we get them as strings, so but we want them to be integers. So this is where we would get the actual input, right? So what we would do, we would take this input, right, and would do something like this, right? So we would say if this, right, dot, is it count or is it length? Let's see. Doesn't do an autocomplete, does it? Okay, I think it has to be length. Oh, size. Because able. So count it is. Why was it giving me problems? Okay. Is equal to 0? Okay, sorry. My bad. But I'm saying how it was. Then can I use size? You, Sana. I've never struggled like this. Okay, we're saying that if the length is 0, voids, then closest term is 0. So basically we have a thingy, right? And then even here it won't even go through voids. I guess here we can even do an else. Okay, we'll change it along the lines so that we don't go through the troubles of going through this one if already the length is 0. Okay, right? So already we've what's this thing? We have accounted for this condition that display 0 if there's no temperatures provided. Amazing stuff. So from the onset, we know that if it's 0, then that's what it is. So let's go back here. So we also have if two numbers. Okay, so we will account for that. So in my head at this point, I have two solutions for this thing in my mind already. We can either find the smallest, right? And then if the smallest, we can use absolute values, right? To solve for the problem of having equally close to 0. So we can just epsilon everything to check which one is smallest. But also if we say epsilon absolute value everything, epsilon, oh my god, not precise definition of a limit. Yeah, but if we absolute value everything, then it will return. So if there's two 5s, right? There's a -5 and a 5, it will just return a 5. So yeah, so in my head currently, I'm thinking of creating two lists, right? I'll tell you why. So in my head, I want to create two lists, two integer lists, right? So I'll call it negative list. I'll call this like a negative list, and then I'll create a positive list, right? Okay. And then this one will be a positive list. Yeah? So here, where we're converting our string array into an integer array, we come here, we say, right, if, so, okay, so my thing is create two arrays now, right? I mean, two lists, the negative list and a positive list, right? So we're creating a list of all of these. So we're segregating the lists, right, into negatives and positives, you know? So we're saying that if the value, right, is less than 0, we're gonna less than 0 is a negative. So we add that to the negative list, right? Then else I'm guessing we'll never have the number 0. So yes, n is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, 0 is the closest to 0. So okay, we'll see. We'll just test it out. If there's a failing condition from here, so we can just go back and say if t is greater than 0, right? So in case if it has an issue, because at this point we're saying if it's 0 and greater than, so this is what the else is for, and then I'll add the p list, right? Then these are the positives. So now we have two lists. We have a negative list and a positive list, right? So then what we do is then sort the list, right? I once did an interview where I had to do a sorting. I think I had to do the go through. That's okay. Yeah, because now I must know sorting algorithms, and I'm like at my tender age, my guy, and this is a little sorting algorithms. Maybe allow us to explain them and just because nobody is going to be sorting these things manually in their code. So if there's already functions that allow us to do those things without, so I'm just going to sort my list, right? So what I'm going to do, right, in both these lists, I'm going to find the first, because I get it has sorted it in ascending order from smallest to biggest, right? I'm going to find the smallest, right? Sort dot, let me have fun with this. Let's see, can it find the first? Is this even a thing? Sana evil. So let me just store this in a small end list, right? Is equals to end list dot first, right? Then we're gonna small p list dot first. I mean, there's many ways to skin a cat, so I hope you guys are not fighting or being angry whilst I'm writing my bloody solution, right? So we have these two, ne? So we're going to say we want to compare the two, right? Okay, so we want to see. So I don't think it matters who's smallest or who's the biggest, right? So if negative, okay, negative always be, okay. Um, right. So, yes, I found it. I found it. So the negative list, right? Can we say absolute? Then we can absolute it here, right? If absolute, if absolute and list, guys, is this how you do an absolute? Here it's abs, right? Hey guys, let me Google absolute values in C sharp. Let's see that. Hey, bro. What is happening? Sounds like I don't have. If this is the one. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, so we found it. So if absolute value of this, right, is less than this, if this is less than this, right, then this, then the closest is this baby. Do I make sense? Right? Else if you know, else if they're equal. So you can say the answer is, so we'll give, so the answer would be the absolute value, right, of that. Then else means this is greater than, right? Then P list is the smallest. Okay, guys, this should be interesting. I'm thinking this should all be inside the else. I'm a bit worried, but not so much. Let's run it. Hi, Kay. Let's see. The best programmer in the world. This is a bit scary. Okay, so the first run, the first test case passed. Let's see the second one. Ooh. Okay. I know what happened because, so we're sorting an empty list. Eh, naledi, like verb is. Oops, what am I doing? Why am I tatazering? If n list dot count equals to 0. Can I do this? No, I can't. I have an idea. Gotcha, guys, is it an and or is it an or? I think it's an and. So we're checking. So, damn. Okay, my bad. I didn't choose. So what we're saying is so maybe I shouldn't have made the two lists. Okay, so what do we do now? Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, right? Currently, presently. So if they are both, so these conditions are only going to apply if both lists are not 0. Right? So I can do the else. So I think I want to create a third list. Yeah. So else, right, we create another list, we call it mixed. So how we're going to say this list, okay, I think I need to declare up there. So, okay, these are way too many lists for my liking, but we'll see, we'll fix it as we go along. So yeah, so in this list we are mixing it so everybody dot add. Okay, we'll fix the thingy as we go along. So we are sorting the list. sort the least, then the closest is going to be, it's going to be the first one. Okay. What does this one say? Failure, expected -5. Hey, Anna. Crickets. Grr, grr. Okay, let me do this. I just want to display this and just see how much, and see my list, right? I don't know what I missed, but anyway. So that we don't. Hi. Okay. Oh my god, I don't think I'm going to upload this because why am I failing so dismally? Can I add breakpoints now? Oh, it still works, guys. My bad. Oh, every console output. Yes, oh, my bad. So it didn't work because of this console output. Wow. Now I think I'm losing my mind. So we have -12, -1, right? So after that is sorted, this should work. Okay, let me just go through this mixed list. The sorted one. How does it Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys. I know what the problem is. So 137 is the smallest. So the smallest is not always. So in the negative list, the smallest is the last. Sorry. And I need to be looking for the last one. The last one is the smallest one. And then the positive integers, the smallest one is the first one. My bad. Okay. Sorrows, prayers. My bad, guys. But I got this, right? Let's check again. The first case were, hey, Bonjani. Console, find. All right. Hey, Bo, I just changed the one thing. Oh no. First, sorry. N list is the negative list. Same because sun. But anyway, here it is. Sun a second case, better work. Choose the right temperature. Is our eyeball, guys. Who am I? Oh my word. The child of the complex test case. Uyaiva. All right. Why does it say that? Found nothing, expected 0. I think I know what the problem is. But I did say most up. Wait. But did you, like, this is me, like, what? What? Let's see the length of this thing because I'm gonna let's see what's the length. It says it's 1. It says it's 1. Let's see. Complex test case. Who got it right? Hey, well, it says it's 1. It says display 0 if no temperature is provided. So no temperature could mean that okay, I don't know how to check this, but like at this point maybe it will show the right thing. So I just want to see like let's see. So it's nothing, but I did say most up. What does it want from me? Heaven. Wait, but when I did the count, when I checked the length, the length said it said that the length is 1. Right? Okay, well, we will give it that. Now let's check what T is. Let's remove this one. Okay, so it doesn't even go through the for loop. Let's see if whether it stays in here or it just goes to the other. Let's see. What? So it goes through the for loop. Why would it do that? Also, why does it say hey, this is a bit, I don't think it should be 1 at all, but at this point it seems like and yes, but let's just do it another test, then we submit. This is gonna be fun, you know. Guys, but I did explain most as I was. Let's just submit and see how much I get. Ah. Wait. The following validators differ from the puzzle set prevent hard code. This is why you have some fails here, even if all the tests provided has successfully passed. Aye. I got 64%. How? Nah, but I'm not happy. No. Now I went through. It's at 7. No, I'm mad. 4, 1, 5. No. Because I don't know how to run this thing. I don't know. I think this one checks its own things. Yeah, but how do I check? Okay, I can't test it. I just have to accept my fate. Guys, I'm not happy. Like, I'm honestly not happy. Like, I ain't happy at all. How can I fail a simple date and done? Okay, I'll just accept my defeat. So that's it, everybody. That's the end of the video. I got 64% because I failed these 3 things. One thing about me, guys, I don't accept defeat, right? So I think I know what the problem is, right? So it doesn't account for positive values, right? So this is what I'm gonna do, right? I think I know what the problem is. I need to account for when there's only one of these, right? So I think it's a bit of a stretch, but guys, I say no to failure. like I refuse failing. So it's N and P. So I don't think we need the mixed dun. Alright. I don't think we need it, but we'll find out. So if Bantu Bagay, we'll just find out. So if N list is 0, we look at the P list, right? And then if the P list is 0, we look at the N list. Akire. Let's check all the test cases. You know. Okay, it seems like all the other test cases are passing because I will not let it slide. Let's see now. Yeah, over. I think I know what the problem is though. I think the problem is here. I think the problem is here. And then we do the for each. And then it checks the counts, whatever. But I still think it should work. I think that the main problem, let's see. Yep, I found the problem. Because baby, the problem is here. At this point, I don't know how to denote, right? Okay, at this point, I think I should do this. I think I should do this. Because I'm like, I knew what the problem was, you know? Let me take, this should work now. All right. So now I should get my 100%. So, baby. I knew that something was not somethinging. Hey, guys. So you know who the best programmer in the world is. So now we can keep it going, keep it flowing. So we'll just fix our code. We no longer we no longer need the other list, the other mixed list that we added. we could have, so the negative and positives were still fine. And then you check if none of them, if we've, so this is just to check if, this is to say, if we have both negatives and positives in the list, then what we do, we compare the two minimums against each other. And then we're saying that if the list has only positives, we look at the negatives. If the list is only negative, we look at the positives. Okay. So yeah, guys, so that's on 100%. That's on 100%, baby. I'm not a robot. That's how smart I am. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Nanzo, I can, does it? It's a wrap. Let's go on to the next one. Yeah, whatever. So learn from the best coders. So these are the best solutions. So solution 1 and solution 2 in terms of performance, readability, and reliability, right? So yeah, so this is what they have. You know, imagine, guys, in 27 lines of code, I did 70 lines of code. And then solution number 2, yeah, I didn't use the constraints. And then solution number 2 then has 54 lines of code. Guys, like, this solution has almost the same number of lines as this solution, because guys, it has literally 69. Well, so 50 something and 60 something, because if I do this, it will reduce the number of lines I will. Yeah, because I'm thinking they also didn't leave extra lines, did they? Then I'll take it back if they did add on extra lines. Look at me being competitive and stuff. But I got 100%. Obviously, you need to do like thorough testing. So don't judge me for submitting, then going back to change. Oh, they do have extra lines. So ndim ingxaki. So, okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go back and refactor, but that is it. So, thank you so much for watching. I know I closed the previous one, but I thought, son, I cannot close it. Bye, everybody.